Alright, quick question for you. Imagine you're out in the middle of the ocean, miles away from land, and suddenly the water beneath your boat starts glowing. Then, a gigantic shape begins rising from the deep, covered in glowing spines and massive tentacles. And just when you think things couldn't possibly get worse, another monster appears on the horizon, the king of the monsters himself. Yeah, we're talking about Godzilla vs. Titan X. Also known as Kai Vilu, two massive titans, two completely different powers. They'll definitely clash in later episodes, and one huge question fans have been asking after watching Monarch. Legacy of Monsters Season 2. Who is actually stronger, Godzilla or Titan X? And honestly, the answer is way more complicated than you might think. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. So today we're breaking down everything. Titan X's origins, its insane abilities, how it compares to Godzilla, and whether this ancient ocean god could actually challenge the king of the monsters. The king of the monsters. Before we even talk about Titan X, we need to understand the Titan it's being compared to, because Godzilla isn't just another kaiju in the MonsterVerse. Godzilla is basically the alpha predator of the entire Titan ecosystem. Whenever other Titans wake up and start causing chaos, Godzilla shows up to restore balance, and we've seen him defeat some ridiculously powerful enemies. He fought the alien destroyer King Ghidorah, a three-headed monster powerful enough to create global storms and nearly wipe out humanity. He battled the mechanical killing machine Mechagodzilla, a weapon literally designed to destroy him, and of course he clashed with King Kong, one of the most powerful titans on land, and yet somehow Godzilla is still standing at the top of the food chain. That's exactly why he's called the king of the monsters. But here's the crazy part. Titan X might be one of the very few titans capable of actually challenging him. The arrival of Titan X. So who exactly is Titan X? Well, according to the classified files of Monarch, Titan X is the code name given to a mysterious ocean titan whose real name is Kai Vilu, and that name actually comes from ancient mythology in Mapuche folklore from South America. Kai Vilu is described as a powerful sea deity capable of raising the oceans and flooding entire lands. People believe this god could reshape coastlines, create islands, and control the tides themselves. Now imagine that myth, except it's real. That's essentially what Titan X represents in the MonsterVerse, an ancient ocean titan that has been influencing the seas for centuries. And the deeper Monarch investigates this creature, the more mysterious and terrifying it becomes. Titan X anatomy, a deep sea nightmare. Let me paint you a picture here. Titan X isn't just a big sea monster. It looks like someone combined multiple deep sea creatures into one gigantic titan. Its body resembles a massive fish-like creature covered in grayish purple scales. But that's only the beginning. It has 4 pairs of crustacean-like limbs that allow it to crawl across surfaces if necessary. And extending from its body are 8 enormous tentacles lined with barbed hooks capable of tearing through metal. Think about something like a giant squid mixed with a prehistoric sea monster, but even stranger. The Titan also has glowing bioluminescent spines running along its body, and those spines actually change color depending on its mood, blue or white when the Titan is calm, red when it becomes aggressive. So basically, if you're in the ocean and the water suddenly starts glowing red beneath you, that's probably the moment you realize you're in serious trouble. But Titan X's design isn't just for intimidation. It also gives the creature major advantages in combat.
We have to go.
Titan X's secret weapon, the tentacles. Here's something really interesting. Most titans rely on brute force during combat. Godzilla uses atomic breath. Kong relies on raw strength and intelligence. But Titan X fights in a completely different way. Those 8 massive tentacles make it incredibly dangerous. Each tentacle can move independently, meaning the Titan can attack from multiple directions at once. Imagine fighting something that can grab, restrain, crush, and strike you with 8 separate limbs simultaneously. Even powerful Titans could struggle against that kind of attack. and underwater. This becomes even more dangerous because Titan X can strike from below, wrap around an opponent, and attempt to drag them into the depths, which leads us to one of the biggest advantages Titan X has over Godzilla, the ocean itself. The ocean advantage. Now don't get me wrong, Godzilla is absolutely terrifying in water. He's been shown swimming incredibly fast and destroying entire naval fleets with ease, but Titan X was literally designed for deep ocean environments. This Titan can swim around 46 knots, which is extremely fast for a creature of its size, and because of its flexible tentacles, it can maneuver through the water far more easily than a bulky Titan like Godzilla. So if these two fought deep in the ocean, Titan X might actually have the mobility advantage. It could attack from below, strike from blind spots, and try to restrain Godzilla's arms or tail. Imagine a giant octopus fighting a crocodile underwater. The crocodile is incredibly powerful, but the octopus has flexibility, reach, and the ability to attack from multiple angles. That's essentially the dynamic between Titan X and Godzilla. But the fight isn't that simple, because Godzilla has something Titan X doesn't. Godzilla's ultimate weapon, atomic breath. If you've watched any MonsterVerse movie, you already know this attack. Godzilla's atomic breath is one of the most destructive abilities in the entire franchise. It's basically a concentrated beam of nuclear energy capable of burning through massive enemies. We've seen it slice through skyscrapers, blast titans across battlefields, and even drill through massive structures. In some situations, Godzilla can even charge the attack to insane levels of power, turning it into something closer to a nuclear laser. So while Titan X might have better maneuverability underwater, Godzilla has a ranged weapon capable of dealing devastating damage, which means Titan X would need to get close very quickly to stand a chance. And interestingly enough, that's exactly how Titan X prefers to fight. The Sea Scarabs, Titan X's strange allies. One of the strangest aspects of Titan X is its connection to creatures known as Sea Scarabs. These glowing organisms travel alongside the Titan in massive swarms. At first glance, they look like parasites, but they're actually something closer to symbiotic partners. The Scarabs seem to protect Titan X, warn it about danger, and even respond when the Titan is in distress. At one point, when humans attempt to control Titan X using a neural implant, the Scarabs swarm the Titan's body and literally chew off the infected appendage to remove the device. That moment reveals something fascinating. Titan X isn't just a single creature. It's almost like an entire living ecosystem moving through the ocean. And that ecosystem could potentially give it advantages during combat situations. The clash with Kong before Titan X ever encounters Godzilla. It actually crosses paths with King Kong. This happens after Titan X travels through a vortex and appears near Skull Island. Kong immediately treats the newcomer as a threat, which makes sense considering the Titan just appeared inside his territory. What follows is a chaotic land-to-sea confrontation where Kong attempts to drive Titan X away from the island. Eventually, Titan X escapes into the ocean where it gains the advantage, and that moment already proves something important. Titan X is powerful enough to challenge one of the strongest Titans in the MonsterVerse, which makes its encounter with Godzilla even more exciting. Godzilla versus Titan X, eventually. Godzilla senses Titan X's presence in the ocean, and the inevitable clash begins. Two apex titans, one ancient ruler of the seas and one king of the monsters. Godzilla unleashes blasts of atomic breath across the water, while Titan X lashes out with massive tentacles in an attempt to restrain its opponent. The battle becomes a chaotic storm of explosions, crashing waves, and monstrous roars echoing across the ocean. But here's the interesting part. The fight doesn't end with a clear winner. Instead, the confrontation ends in a massive storm and explosion that leaves the outcome uncertain. And that actually tells us something incredibly important about Titan X. Why Titan X is considered a rival. The fact that Titan X can even stand its ground against Godzilla is already impressive. Most Titans either submit to Godzilla or get destroyed by him. Titan X does neither. Instead, the show portrays it as a rival-level Titan, not necessarily stronger than Godzilla, but powerful enough to challenge him. Some hints even suggest that Titans like Godzilla and Kong might eventually need to cooperate if Titan X becomes a larger threat. And honestly, that possibility alone makes Titan X one of the most interesting additions to the MonsterVerse. So, who is actually stronger? When we look at the MonsterVerse as a whole, Godzilla still holds the title of King of the Monsters. He has defeated multiple alpha-level Titans and maintains dominance over the Titan hierarchy. So officially, Godzilla is still the strongest Titan in the ecosystem, but Titan X clearly sits very close to that level of power. Its massive size, tentacle-based combat style, ocean mobility, and symbiotic scarabs make it one of the most dangerous Titans introduced so far. Think of it like this. Godzilla is the king of the Titans, while Titan X might be the ancient ruler of the deep ocean. And if those two forces ever clash again at full power, the outcome could be absolutely unpredictable. Our nerdy thoughts. At the end of the day, Titan X isn't replacing Godzilla as the king of the monsters, but it might be the closest thing to a true rival lurking in the oceans, a Titan inspired by ancient mythology, a creature surrounded by glowing swarms of life, and a monster powerful enough to challenge even Godzilla himself, which honestly raises one really exciting question. What happens the next time these two Titans meet and the fight doesn't end in a stalemate? So what do you think? Could Titan X actually defeat Godzilla someday? Or is the King of the Monsters simply too powerful? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into MonsterVerse lore, make sure to subscribe for more Titan breakdowns, monster battles, and hidden details from Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.